Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm Professor Spira, and today we will be looking at Professor Arnold Ehret's Mucusless Diet Healing System, annotated, revised, and edited by Professor Spira. Lesson 15, Transition Diet. There's a couple videos before this where we started going through the lesson. We're just sort of starting and just moving on through it, and as we go, say a few words about things that pop up. So in the last video, we talked about menus for the first 2 weeks, and we observed at how non-aggressive it is. For a lot of the people that's out there right now that's complaining about, oh, fruit diet and fruit is too aggressive and all this kind of stuff. Did you read the Mucusless Diet Healing System? Did you try to do what Ehret recommended? Because again, when people come to me and they say, oh, I love, fruit diet and this, and I'm like, I practice the Mucusless Diet Healing System, don't you? Like, oh yeah, I love Ehret, fruit and fasting and love. No, there's a little more than that. So, the menus for the second 2 weeks. Lunch. First, a baked apple, applesauce, or other stewed dried fruit. After 10 or 15 minutes, a combination salad as suggested in the first menu, and bran or whole wheat bread toasted if still hungry. Cow butter should be gradually avoided and replaced by a vegetable or nut butter during the transition. By allowing the cooked vegetables to soak on the salad for 10 to 15 minutes, it serves the purpose of a dressing. So here's another mechanic where we have baked apple, applesauce, some kind of stewed fruit. Still not eating raw fruit yet. We're on week 3 of the Mucusless Diet Healing System. If you follow this strictly, we're still not, according to, if you follow this strictly, we're still not eating raw fruit yet. We're still cooking the fruit. Because why? Making it less aggressive, getting your body prepared to be able to deal with raw fruits. And I'll admit, a lot of people don't necessarily follow these and they'll get right into the raw fruit. So I'm not saying that that is in any way wrong. I'm trying to show you that there are ways to be very, very non-aggressive by practicing the Mucusless Diet Healing System, that you do not have to be aggressive. If you're aggressive, meaning you're eating a lot of the raw fruit and raw vegetables, and then you start to go through eliminations, or maybe the headaches and this and all that kind of stuff, understand that is an expression of internal uncleanliness that's coming to the surface. But what I'm saying is, you can be as gradual as you want to be, or as you need to be, because you don't have to go through that. You don't have to go through that type of intensive thing all the time. And I know there's some of you that are kind of in that mode where you're like, oh, I'm trying to be fruit. I want to get to all fruit as fast as possible. I want to be a fruitarian. I want to do this. And I'm like, get out of your head. Just get out. Check this out. This is about system. This is about being calm. We want to calm things down, relax, settle down. This ain't about just, I want to do this, and it's like, it's not about what you want to do. It's about, what do you need to do? If you need to slow it up, going by this, I would rather see someone go by this than they're like, oh, I've been raw and all fruit for so long, and then what happens? Then you end up in the fruitarian recovery group talking about fruit is evil. Don't eat any fruit at all ever in the world, but that's what's happening for the brothers and sisters. And I want to try to get this Ehret's message across to you, because I think that can really prevent that from happening. These menus, just because it says for the first 2 weeks, that doesn't mean that you can't do this again 6 months later or a couple years later, this same thing can still apply. So this is not some strict, well, this is the first couple weeks, you know, and then people are like, well, what do you do after, you know, after these are done? Well, no, do them again. And once you understand and you've experienced that, then you can refine this. And you can come back and maybe add some raw fruits or something. But, well, let's keep going. So that's the lunch meal. Check that out. We combined fruit and vegetables in the same meal. But how did we do it? We ate the fruit first, but not raw fruit, stewed fruit. We ate that first. Waited 15 minutes and then had a combination salad followed up with the wheat toast, with the burnt toast. Now, if you eat a meal like that and you're not satisfied or you're still hungry, I'm sorry. I mean, and there's still things that you could add, you know, and eat and add a, you know, cooked vegetable, cooked mucus-free vegetable, even something starchy if you need to. There's, again, the options are numerous. You know, I don't want to say infinite. The options are numerous, and it's very, very customizable system, and that's what we want to really understand and get across to you. You don't have to. You don't have to be as aggressive as, you know, you'll hear me or Brother Air or other practitioners talk about their experiences or what they do. That's what they're doing. Don't think that that's what you have to do specifically, especially if you haven't practiced the Mucusless diet for 25 or 35 years, and you're just listening in on what they're doing at year 35. That is not going to help you understand what you need to do in week 1 and 2 and month 4 and 5. And so this is a challenge, I think, of teaching the Mucusless diet, because there's not one sort of monolithic thing that we're working for. Everybody has different value system. Everybody has different goals. Because some people come to the Mucusless diet and their goal is to overcome a disease or an ailment or something like that. Other people come to the Mucusless diet and maybe they want to try to become vegan or become more plant-based. Some people come to the Mucusless diet and they want to learn how to fast, or they for whatever reason they're interested in sort of reconstructing the bloodstream based on principles of fasting, and that's an interest. So everybody comes to this thing differently, with different goals, but this is where we all start. That's my message, is we all start relatively with the same principles, being guided by the same guidelines and mechanics. So now, if we move on to, that supper meal, baked or stewed vegetable as suggested in the first menu, followed by a vegetable salad made of lettuce and cucumber or raw celery or a little coleslaw. So now we're moving into something, a vegetable salad made of lettuce. Now lettuce is kind of up front. Okay, so let's move on. Menus for the third 2 weeks. Lunch during the summer, this should be an exclusive fruit meal, one kind only. Like, what just happened? We went from the first month, no raw fruits at all suggested, all cooked fruits in the first month. Second month, during the summer, this should be an exclusive fruit meal, one kind only. So that's the suggestion, to have one type of fruit only. And he says in the wintertime, a sweet dried fruit, for example, prunes, figs, raisins, or dates, eaten with apples or oranges, or the dried fruits can be chewed together with a very few nuts, and then followed by fresh fruits. If in the beginning this fails to satisfy, wait for 10 or 15 minutes and then eat a few leaves of lettuce or cold vegetable, either cooked or raw, but just a small quantity. So again, we have this dynamic of mixing these different things together. It sounds like we got some folks cutting the grasses here. Supper time, a combination salad as suggested in the first menu, followed by baked vegetable. So now we're into the first month, or the second month, and the lunch meal, if you're able to do it, now you're ready for that exclusive fruit meal. But like you said, in the winter time, that's not a rule. That is a guideline for this particular transitional mechanical approach. But if you want to throw in some of the dried fruits or whatever, that's fine. So let's get this last menus for the fourth 2 weeks. Lunch, fruits, as in the previous menus. Supper, first eat fruits, either baked or stewed or fresh, followed a little later by a cold cooked vegetable, or better still, a vegetable salad. So again here for the second part, so for this entire second month, you would essentially have a fruit meal at lunchtime and some kind of vegetable meal, combination salad in the evening time. If you find that you are losing weight too rapidly, the elimination should be slowed down by eating bread or potatoes after the vegetables. Now look at that, after the vegetables. See, these are the minor things. These are not, these are mechanics. That's a mechanic. That's a mechanic suggestion of, don't eat potatoes first if you're going to have potatoes, and I would suggest sweet potatoes over white potatoes, but don't eat that first. But I'm not saying don't eat it. Ehret's not saying don't eat it. Eat it after your vegetable meal, or after that's part of the vegetable meal. Eat it after your salad. The reason is because the salad goes through with that brooming effect, and it's getting your body used to that. You're getting your body used to the raw green leafy vegetables. But again, you're not ready to just eat that yet. You're still hungry. So what do? Follow that up with some baked sweet potato, or even a white potato. I'm just not a big fan of recommending white potato because it's so easy to do sweet potato. Just to me, it tastes better. It's easy to get used to it. But if you're still on the white potato, then do that. But the mechanics here is what I think is really important, to where whether it be the bread, the toast or potatoes or whatever it is, some other type of cooked vegetable, that is what we're dealing with. This mechanic of, if you're still hungry, it's like, okay, fruit, then wait 15 minutes, have a raw salad. Are you still, after you have your salad, are you still hungry? Well, if you are, maybe have a cooked vegetable, or maybe have baked potato. Now, of course, it takes a long time to prepare something like the potatoes, so probably don't want to wait until after. If you can, you just plan it out and just do that. Just eat. Okay, this is what I'm going to have, this meal. But if you really look at these, there's no reason for you to be hungry. There's no reason for you to feel like you're restricting something or feel hungry or all that kind of stuff, because this will get you going down the path of, down the mucusless path. So hope this was helpful for you. If you have questions, please put it in the comment section, or tell us your experiences. practicing the Mucusless diet, practicing if you went through some of these. Tell us how it went, things that you experienced along the way. Always love having those conversations. And until next time, peace, love, and breath.